So Alyssa, she's like, hi.
Oh, she knows that.
Well, she says hello 400 times a day.
Oh my
So
you on hello kick?
Yeah.
You should answer the phone.
Hello?
That's perfect.
No,
we're on the air. Now we're on the air.
okay.
Okay? So Brianna, you have to start behaving yourself. This is a special treat. We are doing a rated PG, maybe PG-13 podcast. The podcast we usually talk like adults, but now we're going to talk like Brianna. That wonderful laughter are, the closest things I have to children. That is my blood relatives, and we're going to have a fun time here doing a podcast, talking to my little cousins, but I consider them like nieces. My mother's side of the family is 4 kids. My mother, her sister, my mother's the oldest. The second oldest is her sister, my Aunt Diane. And then goes my Uncle Tommy and my Uncle Bruce. So 2 boys and 2 girls. And big generation gap because my mother's 11 years older than my Uncle Bruce. So my mother was like, Chuck Berry. My Uncle Bruce was the Doors, put it that way, as far as music's concerned. Because music is going to be a big part of this. My Aunt Dee was born after the war. My mom was born before World War II. My grandfather goes away to war and gets captured in the Battle of the Bulge, is a prison camp prisoner for the Germans from December of 44 till they get liberated in April of 45. Very big thing there. He's not killed. He's basically a hero in my eyes because he stood to the end, and they were a distraction, the prisoners, for the German army, and allowed our army to get freed up. If you read the whole part about what the prisoners played, it's pretty cool. They weren't just sitting there. And my grandfather was an amazing man. Just you would not know we were related. He was as classy as they come. And he died in 1995. He comes home and has a little girl post-war, and that's my Aunt Dee. My Aunt Dee has a son. Now, listen, the closest thing I have to a younger brother is my cousin Frankie. He's almost exactly 4 years younger than me, and in every way more mature than I am. It's like my sister. I always say my sister's younger, but I want to be like her when I grow up. And we were so close, as all the cousins were. But Frankie's father, his biological father, my Uncle Frank, who I remember quite vividly, as to be just a fun person and a nice guy. And as a kid, you remember stuff like that. You remember adults who weren't mean. And he unfortunately passed away in a car accident when Frankie was 5 and I was 9. And there were tough times, My Aunt Dee was a teacher, and I can remember being a little boy and Frankie finding out and being upset. And I remember how tough my Aunt Dee was and is. I don't think I ever said this to her. I should say this. Being a boy and a woman relationship, you don't open up as much. But my father and mother used to always say this too, about how strong my Aunt Dee was of a person. And the point is, Frank and I come from strong Italian women, and she just buckled up and went to work and did whatever she could. And of course, all of us were so close. My father and my grandfather and myself. We all loved Frankie, and we were all just a big family hanging out. We seemed much closer back then. It's a more complicated world now. Unfortunately, it was simpler times.
Art, I was under the impression it's gonna be a lighthearted.
No. It's important to me because I never said this to your mom.
You're right. I'm sorry.
No, we need the humor. It'll come, believe me, with the musical stuff. It's Dan's birthday, so we prepared something. But I always looked up to my Aunt Dee for how strong she was in getting through those adverse times. And eventually, she met a great man, my Uncle Rich, who became Frank's stepfather. In 1986, they got married, and a wonderful life came after that. And Frankie met a wonderful woman. It's all been good for him. What the hell happened to me? These women are crazy. The ones in my life. So that is my newer cousin. I've known her for years now. Jackie, Frankie's wife. And they had 3 beautiful little girls. And they're with me today. And Alyssa, the middle one, is my goddaughter.
Yes, that's
And
me.
I'm sure she says I'm Jessica Lang, not Artie Lang. I mean, to her friends. It's a little embarrassing. If you Google me, it's embarrassing. And my point is, my mother then, of course, my fans know the story about my father, had to show that same strength that my aunt did, and they rallied around us. And it's so great to have family. People say, Art, how did, these kids around the country, they say, Art, how did you get through your struggles? Because we're going through the same thing. And I say, guys, luck and my family. That's it. That's all I have. And in the end, that's all you have. And that's why I'm here. Partially the people sitting in this room and Frank, who's again like a younger brother. There is nothing like family, and in the end, I think you find friends, blah blah. Especially in my business, forget it. And I got to lecture these kids because one of them I think wants to get in the show business, and I think I'll show some of the landmines that I stepped on. You want to avoid. Again, Google me. It's great to see these girls here. I don't see them enough. They live close to the Jersey Shore. And I said to Frank, Alyssa, who's a great soccer player. I mean, she's like the female Pele from what I hear. Do you know who Pele is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. You know your soccer history. Now, you made the varsity? What just happened in her life soccer wise?
She made the middle school team,
right,
for the third time. She's an 8th grader now.
That's amazing.
And then she was named captain by her peers.
Wow, that is something else. That's impressive.
She is one of several captains, but still, it was an honor that she wasn't expecting.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And I went to go see you play, and yeah, you do. You're very. You can tell you're an athlete, and that's good. You're also smart. That's a good combination. It's deadly. A lot of athletes don't have that combination. Colin Kaepernick comes to mind. Of course, and Alyssa, of course, I'm proud to be your godfather. And to the Italian people, it's a very strong, sacred. Did you ever see the movie The Godfather yet?
No.
That's a good idea. Right? Especially if you like horses.
Yeah.
So Frankie is here, by the way. So, when I get sentimental, it's hard because I tried to explain the story, but we have a great family is the point. And I respect my auntie in ways you can't imagine. And I respect these people in ways you can't imagine. Frankie is here. Frank, what would you like to say about your lovely family, if anything?
Well, first of all, I want to tell Jackie to disable all the Google functions on all the phones and computers.
That's true. If I ever had a child and he learned how to Google, what's my name? That's it. The DIFUS is coming.
But we're very happy to be here and first time being on the air. On the
That's right. That's
podcast.
Right. Yeah.
It's the girls were all excited, and I don't know. They in their minds they've planned some things and
good.
We're hoping to talk about a couple things.
Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, right?
Well, yeah, I guess they can.
They can. Well, no, it's up to you. You guys, unless your parents say no.
Brianna, pull out the bowling pins. You're juggling.
Okay. Where are they?
So your lovely wife Jackie is here.
Jackie is here.
And now, Jackie, do you want to say anything?
Jack?
You guys first of all met in high school. Jackie, you guys met in high school, right?
Well, we knew each other in high school.
Right.
There was no dating in high school. There was one time she was walking home from school. I offered her to ride home.
Oh, really?
But
okay.
Nothing came about that ride home. Then it was after high school that she was trying to pursue me.
No kidding.
And she was trying to court me.
Nice.
And,
Rolls eyes.
there was a little bit of a dating period then. I went away to college, came back.
That's right, because I was living in L.A. basically when you guys started dating, and I came home on Christmas when I met you for the first time, Jackie.
Mm-hmm. And Jackie was knocked up. No,
and I was like, first of all, I said, Frank, very pretty girl. I'm like, Frank, good job there. And secondly, very sweet, with a great family, too.
Yes.
And that's important.
Her family, as a matter of fact, like, I can't compare families to our family, but they were very similar because my first time there, they were unrelenting with busting my chops. And,
right, good.
Making
that's a good sign.
Right. And of course, I was used to it from the barrage that we would get as youngsters, I was able to handle it.
You have no idea.
Yeah, so there was like a feeling of, this could work. This could be something good.
There was stuff said that if you said it nowadays with political correctness, forget it. They'd all be arrested.
Yes.
They'd all be arrested. One time I told my uncle Bruce I wanted to be an astronaut. He said, Art, you're almost retarded. And look, that's important. Because Derek Jeter and people, I love Derek Jeter, but he perpetuates this myth that if you put your mind to anything, you can do anything. That is so wrong. If that were true, I'd still be in front of Yankee Stadium with a glove at 49 years old going, Mr. Coach Artie, when am I getting it? And I'd be arrested for stalking. Jack, do you want to say anything? No, okay.
She's still laughing.
She's very entertaining off air, believe me. But it's just great to see my again, Frankie's like a little brother to me, how happy his family life is. It's just so great. It's nowadays it can so easily not be this. And I'm proud of you girls because you're good girls. And I love you. And I should learn to say that off the air. So, Alyssa, I love you. That's great. Now, Steph is the oldest. And you're 28, right?
Yes.
Now, what? Explain. God, it's so amazing how beautiful she is. She's our family, and well, the pretty smile comes from Jackie. But it's so good to see how you're growing, and you want to become a director. Is that true? Explain what you want to do.
Yeah. So I'm really into the idea of the entertainment business.
Right.
I don't know if it's necessarily definitely going to be directing, but I'm into using my mind creatively and working with technology, and I'm very good with working with other people as well.
Great.
So I'm just into that whole area. I'm really excited that I'm just doing this in general because it's well,
nice
listen,
yeah, that's great. And you know what? You're how are you? 14, 13 now?
15, almost 16.
Wow.
I'm 13.
Wow. Oh, this is 13. Okay. And Breezy, you're 1 years old today, right?
No.
I'm going by your attitude.
I'm 10.
I'm going by your attitude.
Oh, okay.
No, we'll get to you in a second. But no, well, listen. You should know that. First of all, you should know about your dad. He's one of the funnier people I knew growing up, and we have the same sense of humor. And he's very creative in his own right. And you could come do anything you want with this. If you ever want to do a show with your friends, like you host a show and you record it, come up anytime you want. Absolutely, feel free. Just know that, and you could listen back, and it could be the Stephanie Show. That's what's amazing about technology nowadays. I mean, Frank and I, we had that. I remember trying to do those recorders back then. That were this big.
Well, with the Volcano Kids, our little singing group.
Goodness.
Right, we had a singing group.
Yeah.
Stacy was the trouble in the band.
Yeah, she was always trying to put us in outfits, and
she was the
making
Yoko.
She was trying to coordinate things.
I know outfits.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
she was the Yoko Ono. Destroyed the band.
Right.
Destroyed the band. So remember that. That's great, though. So what does that mean? Is she in the 11th grade?
Well, she's in 11th grade. Why don't you tell me?
10th. I'm in 10th.
Well, yeah, she's a 10th grader,
grade.
but she's part of a program where she was accepted into a special program at Howell High School, where
That's
she's there
great.
directly for that. Why don't you tell them about your program?
Yeah.
In the program, well, there's several different parts of the program. There's acting, dancing, and there's ET, and ET stands for Entertainment Technology. There's music production, and there's video production. In music production, you create music. You can take songs by other artists and put your own spin on it. We also work backstage for the actors' shows. And for video production, we make videos. Our teacher gives us assignments. His last name is actually Napolitano. He's Mr.
Really?
Napolitano,
Okay,
which is pretty
okay, there you go. That's good karma.
and he gives us assignments to do, and we enter into video competitions.
So now
we
wait,
won one past year.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I wasn't a part of it because I was only a freshman.
Are you more? Do you find yourself now? And there's a lot of time to figure this out. But are you more attracted to behind the scenes or on in front of the camera? Is one dominating now?
I like both, but I like being behind the camera because I like just directing what is happening.
You like being in control.
Yeah,
Right.
and at the end of my sophomore year, I have to choose between which side and then which music or video, and then that's what I'm going to do for my
Right.
junior and senior year, and I'm probably going to go for video because I like both parts of the music of the entertainment business, but I'm more into the video side.
Right. So it's more the music. You like acting better, or
Yeah, and for most of the videos, sometimes we'll have the actors from the program come and do our videos, but most of the time, when it's just a short notice kind of video, we'll act in it ourselves, and I'm usually the one that's acting it.
Good. Well, listen, that's what's called an auteur, directors who direct their own movies and are in it.
Yeah.
And those are some of the more brilliant people, like Woody Allen and stuff. Of course, he married his daughter. That's another story.
Yeah, that's not good.
Don't Google him either. But that's amazing. That's great. I mean, you seem together. That's awesome. I didn't know how really into it you were in the special high school thing. I was in a program in high school for kids who thought the blue part of the globe was the sky. And it was me and a lot of the football players. That's unbelievable. I mean, look, I've worked with a bunch of directors, and there's all different styles. It's funny. Like, Jon Favreau directed Elf. And he's also an actor. And you see the difference in between what you sound like, where they're very laid back and they know how to handle actors. They're not technical. It's great to know both. But if you could know the technical part and... Because actors, like the creative types, are very, like... They can be hard to deal with because they're in their own head a lot. So a guy like Jon Favreau and a guy like Will Ferrell, who just says anything that comes to the top of his, over the top of his head. And I like doing that too because I hate preparation for it. I like just winging it. And he just let you go. Other guys are so technical, and I can't stand that. It's hard for me to deal with that because they seem sort of nerdy. But if you could dominate both things, that's great. And it sounds like that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great that you have that vision, and it's awesome. And of course, use this equipment. It's come up. We work an hour a day. 4 days a week. You can have it the rest of the time. That's awesome. That's great. So what? Now the high school. Is there a commute to the high school then? I remember you guys were talking about
a
it.
Commute. She has to get a bus every morning at what time? 6:30, 25 after 6.
About
something.
6:30.
Wow, that's commitment. You know. Yeah. Yeah. On a movie set that's like going away to camp.
Well, their kids come from Marlboro, going to Howell, and they had to wake up earlier.
Right.
They're getting to school right before the bell rings.
But that's so great that you're getting that work ethic in life too. That's important. Again, a movie set. A director does everything. I mean, a soup to nuts, and you got to be there. 2 months is an average shoot time, and you're there all the time.
Yeah.
But if you love it, it's great. Now we go to Brianna.
Oh no.
Hello.
Brianna is a wonderful person. I don't care what you've heard. And me and her text every once in a while, and she gives me life advice texting.
Yes.
Sometimes she'll say I'm wearing an ugly shirt, and I don't know how you know what I'm wearing.
She's just, playing the odds.
She's playing the odds.
She's playing the odds.
So now, Bree, what do you want to do? Your two older sisters are tough examples. Like they're so successful. Are you going to be Cooper Manning?
Well,
do you think it's going to be hard to be successful now with your two sisters being successful?
Well, I feel like because they're they have their
We're out of
strengths
time.
Gee, thanks.
I'm kidding. Go ahead. Please.
So I think that since they have their strengths and their weaknesses, they're gonna go with their strengths, and I'm gonna have to kind of try and follow one of their footsteps, or I have to take a new path.
Right.
So.
Well, that's great. So you want to be your own person.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, listen. Well, listen. Now, what about you creatively? First of all, we had a family function, and all you guys got on the mic once, and I could tell all you guys come to life on the mic a little bit. Alyssa, you too. Alyssa, do you have creative aspirations as well? Or you're just going to become Pele?
No, I'm not really creative at all.
Really? Okay. Well, listen.
She's shy.
Yeah. Well, a lot of creative people can be shy. But you're not shy, Brianna, at all.
Nope.
Well, what about entertainment with you, Brianna? What do you think about that?
Why don't you talk about what you did this summer?
Yeah.
This summer I went to a theater camp, and we did the play Aladdin.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who'd you play, the genie?
No, I was Abu, the monkey.
Oh, they booed you?
No.
It's terrible when you're enacting and doing a play and the word boo is in your name.
Everybody was booing her.
You should have been a yay. A yay!
A yay!
Yeah, now they're yelling a boo. And they're just chanting your name.
She tripped on the stage during the play.
You did?
Yeah, but it was a purposeful trip.
Wait, like John? Wait, so you're doing physical comedy?
Yeah, she's the John Ritter of,
she was
of
the
millennials.
Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Is that true? You tripped on purpose?
Yes. Well, when we were doing it for rehearsals and the without not using the stage and the props, there wasn't like a thing that I was supposed to trip on.
Yeah, there wasn't a 10-foot box there.
Yeah. So then when I was backing up in the like rehearsals with the stage, I would always fall, and so I just since Abu had like no talking lines, I just did improv.
Is that
so.
true? Abu doesn't have talking lines? Oh, he's a monkey.
Yeah.
He's a monkey. He can't talk.
But cartoons monkeys talk. There's a bunny that's been talking for 70 years on Bugs. Abu doesn't talk in Aladdin?
No, he does this.
Is that what you did?
Sometimes.
Let's hear it.
What?
We'll do it again.
Why don't you do a couple of lines? Go ahead.
Yeah. Do I'm Abu.
That's got Golden Glow written all over it.
That sounds like a lot of comedians off the mic. Well, that's great. So now, will you be playing any other animals?
Well,
about an
I'm
aardvark?
hoping. Well, I'm hoping that next year I'm not going to be an animal.
Well, yeah, that's
I
a
want
good
people to have,
goal.
like- I want people to have like talking lines.
That'd be, I mean,
Dance,
you're gonna
sing.
be great.
Artie, I think her and Gilbert are up for a seagull role.
Yes, yes. Now, Gilbert, my good friend, was the parrot
Yes.
in Aladdin, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
He was Iago.
In the actual movie. Yeah, Iago.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Gilbert, my friend. Yeah, he's an annoying guy.
Just like you.
Yeah.
Oh, gross!
Firing the first
Who said that? Who said
Alyssa.
that? Oh, Alyssa. There you go. See, no respect for the Godfather. If I'm annoying you, just wink your eye and I'll stop. Dan will conduct the interview. Dan, they're going to Madame Tussauds after this, and Dan said you should start your experience at 3:00. And I said, what does that mean? I said, is that you saying experience? That's odd. He goes, no, that's the advertising.
Column frame. That is.
I said, but you have to
I gotta
say-
have Dan's back here.
You should start your experience at 3. Well, this is the New Yorker.
Column frame.
Well, yeah, I know, but you could say, Dan, you don't have to say what they say in the advertising. You could go, hey, you go there at 3:00.
He's trying to separate it from me, to make me
Oh, okay.
figure it out.
All right.
Make you feel special.
Is that helping you? The fact that you have experience?
100%.
Dan is by the book. Dan is my roommate, and it's very complicated. We have a podcast together. He's the producer. See, Dan is technical. This is what we were talking about before. Dan is very technical, unbelievably terrible on the air. But no, he's got a big career in comedy. Actually, he knows some of the biggest comedians in the world. Dan is best friends with Bill Murray, right? And the guy who does all the voices on The Simpsons, Harry Shearer. And, of course, me, who does a show from the living room. But, so that's what we were talking about before, Steph. Dan is, really good at tech stuff and creative. He's both. He's a double threat. I am a single threat. So what about you directing Breezy in something? That would be great.
Well, she actually already did.
Yeah, at the camp that she was at this summer, I was at the camp, too, and I was working backstage for the play. I did set designing for it, so, the actual set of Agrabah, I had to redraw it.
You're designing sets too.
Yeah, I was
Oh my
designing
God.
sets too.
Well, I got to tell you, it's amazing to know how to do all that. The advice I'd have as you get older is focus on one thing, though. It's good to have all that stuff in your head, but with show business, you have to just laser focus on something, and just get that. And if you get ahead of that, you can apply all you know to everything else. But a lot of people lose sight, especially what I do. Comedians, they try to be everything, but they all think they can direct too. That directing is so difficult and important, and these guys who think they can direct. Like Eddie Murphy thought he could direct. I think Pluto Nash.
Well, this past week at school, we had to review camera angles just again because
It's hard.
last year we did half a year with the video teacher, half a year with the music teacher. So we reviewed angles, and so we had to make up a project and do angles. So on Wednesday when we go back, I gotta edit that.
And you're editing too. That's great. That's amazing.
Yeah, we're doing everything. We're editing, videotaping, directing.
The digital, well, it's so fun. I worked this summer with a guy named Judd Apatow. I shot a series with him. You've seen a lot of movies he's done, probably. I guess. Does he do rated PG?
I don't know.
Well, actually, nothing. They could probably. Well, anyway, he's the closest thing to what you're describing in show business now. And I got to see how he directs. First of all, it's all about the money. He has money. He has 4 cameras where a lot of people have one going all the time. So he gets the angles you're talking about. He gets every angle. Whereas a normal director with one camera has to stop and relight. It takes hours and then go over your shoulder. He gets all of that at once because he gets a lot of money because he's successful.
Yeah.
And but the good thing is to learn how to work with a cheap budget. If you could learn how to work with a cheap budget, you'll do anything.
Well, I'm just shooting in a high school.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're telling you what you can do and what you can't do.
Yeah.
The first thing you should do as soon as you can when you get older, when you become an adult, if you really want to direct, find a script and try to raise money and shoot a movie, even a short movie, because God, the experience is unbelievable. But to see the way he works with actors, because he's one himself, is amazing. And I'm so proud of you, and all you guys are you're good kids. You guys are doing something right. Would you like to take a bow now, Jackie?
Yes.
You should say something now. I mean, it's not easy to raise kids this good. Look at me.
I've tried to get Alyssa to try out for the middle school talent show.
Right.
Stephanie was in it.
I was in
and
it,
Stephanie
yeah.
sang. She actually did it 2 years.
Can you sing too?
Yeah, I can sing too.
I can sing.
I was in the acapella
Well,
group.
all
at my
right,
school
calm
last-
down, Breezy. We'll get to you.
Yeah, my school
Yeah.
last year, they have an acapella group at the school, and the music teacher in my program runs it, and so I did that last year. I didn't do it again this year because I wanted to try other activities.
Well, that's
Because that was an all-year program.
the original movie Goodfellas was about gangsters who could sing, called acapellas. Did you know? We'll work on that.
So I tried to get Alyssa to do something different for
Yeah.
the talent show.
Right.
And that was to memorize a scene from a movie, and she totally has it memorized. I don't know if she'll do it today, though. But
What
it's
is it?
something different.
Few
Please
good men.
do it.
A Few Good Men.
Yeah,
The courtroom scene.
You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
She has
That's
the
it?
entire scene memorized.
No kidding.
It's a
Well,
one-man act, too.
Well, go right ahead.
What was it doing?
Do it.
Why would you do it in front of a microphone? You got to do it now. Do it or you have to leave. This is tough love. This is tough love. No,
Did you
I mean,
order the
listen.
code red?
Listen, you have to do whatever you want. Don't let people pressure you, Liz. I mean,
Especially me.
Yeah, well, listen. It's great that you
I'm allowed to.
memorized it, though.
Yeah, I memorized it for no reason. So I don't know.
Well, you could also tell you guys are very smart too. You're very bright kids. I could tell that. Matter of fact, I feel a little like you're condescending towards me.
Well, Brianna is.
Brianna, very much so. I feel like you're goofing on me. Brianna, so what? So you're going to play a non-animal next year.
Yes.
Now, would you like to be in something your sister directs?
Well,
She has been already, I mean.
yeah. I mean, she did the video that she did for
Yeah, to
her
get-
getting into the ET program.
Right.
I was
Well,
in that,
I was
so-
in that.
Yeah, to get
I
into
was the star.
to
She
get
was
into
a
the high
star for
school,
some
I
reason,
had
even though
to-
she has no idea how to act.
Alyssa?
Yeah, Alyssa.
Burn.
Alyssa.
Burnsville.
God, you guys are tough. No
Art, do
idea
you
how
got
to
some
act.
ointment for Alyssa?
We need some aloe vera because she just got burned.
Oh, jeez. But that's probably not true. You could. It sounds like you can act.
Well, she was like the main star in the video. To get into the high school, I had to go through like a whole audition process, and part of that audition process was I made a music video. I made a music video for the song Radioactive.
Right.
And so she was the main star in it. Dad was in it. Brianna was in it. A few of my friends and Alyssa's friends were in it.
Oh,
So-
the song from our generation, Radioactive? Radioactive?
No, the Imagine Dragons. It's more
Oh, I'm
current.
thinking,
She actually had a
thinking of Robert Plant.
No, not that one. No, that would be cool.
Thinking of Led Zeppelin. Okay. Now, who sings that?
It's by Imagine Dragons.
Imagine Dragons.
And I just took the song and I just...
See, now you're allowed to use other people's material in this, too. That's kind of difficult because when you get older, you learn that, again, working with a budget, you have to pay.
Yeah.
I tried to use 30 seconds in my first stand-up special of an AC/DC song, Highway to Hell. I was coming on stage, 30 seconds I needed. This was the favor they did because they knew me from Howard. 150 grand. 150,000 for 30 seconds. And that was the favor price.
Right.
Music is very difficult to get. Then that's where you're going to come in handy with the editing and knowing how to create music digitally, because you got to create your own music for movies too. That's a real talent. Although electronic music now, a guy goes up, DJ Tiesto, whatever, we're used to bands. A guy goes up with a laptop and sells out 80,000 seats.
Yeah, just presses a button and
Yeah, I
away he
mean,
goes.
Frank and I used to yell out at a concert. You play the guitar. People yell out like, "Check your emails." Hit the space bar. It's not impressive. Like Dan looks like a big DJ right now. Dan looks like a band.
He does. He's got his
He's got the
Apple in front
laptop.
of him.
Yeah, right. There you go. Dan, send a text. Google me. Now, here's a question. When they Google you, Brianna, when you're 30 years old, when they Google you, what do you hope they see?
I hope they see.
Cousin of scumbag Artie Lott.
I hope they see my beautiful face.
Well, of course. Of course they're going to see that.
I'm still looking for
What,
that.
what are they going to say about you?
Number.
What are they going to say?
What's your Wikipedia page going to say?
Yeah, what's your wiki?
My wiki.
I don't think she even
My
knows what that is.
What's it going to be? What do you want to...
It's gonna be smiley winky face.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's
She
your
doesn't know what it
emoji
is.
talk, Art.
Listen,
Do you know what an emoji is, Art?
yeah, for those
You do?
things. Yeah.
Those little things?
Those things gay guys and Dan said. Now, do you feel... now, what's your favorite emoji?
My favorite emoji
Yeah.
is favorite emoji.
My father heard me ask that question, he'd still be punching me in the face.
My favorite emoji is
She's thinking very
Hard
hard.
questions are coming later.
I second that emoji. Well, you know that's so you can't think. What about Alyssa? What's your favorite emoji?
wait, what?
You're taking too long to answer.
No, I was gonna
We're
say
filling the
it.
time.
No, my favorite emoji is the smiley crying emoji.
The one that's smiling and crying?
It's laughing, so
laughing
hard that it's
emoji.
crying.
Schizophrenic?
It's laughing so hard that it's crying.
Oh, I'm laughing. Okay, that's nice. That's the
my
best kind of crying.
Yes,
Yeah, I hope so.
tears of laughter.
That's right. Now, Alyssa, what about you? What is your favorite emoji?
Either the winky face one or the sparkles.
Oh, sparkles I love.
Sparkles.
Ever since I bedazzled my phone. Dan bedazzled my phone for me. Dan, what are you showing them now?
He looked up the
He's
laughing
being
faces
DJ
emojis.
Oh, wow.
That's the
Well, I
emoji.
could have figured it out. I get what it is. Dan showing us on the radio.
That emoji is my most recently used
everyone
one.
see it?
It's not my favorite.
What about you, Steph? Now, with your friends, you send emojis. Now, do you guys monitor their social media?
For the most part, yes.
That's a good idea, right? Because now, Breeze, you don't want to join ISIS, right?
No!
We're just checking.
God.
You're not going to move to Minnesota, right?
Oh my gosh.
What about the world nowadays, guys? Politics. Do you watch Do you watch it at all? Do you
Honestly,
see-
they're both going to cause a nuclear war.
Well, and that's it for the McNeil Hour Report. This has been me. This has been State of the Union.
Brianna's the most has
Your
the
political?
strongest political views.
Now, what-
in the
let's
house.
hear them.
And that
Let's-
includes me and Jackie.
Let's hear them.
Brianna said one day at dinner when we were eating tacos that that this is probably going to be our last taco dinner because if Donald Trump becomes president, there won't be any more Mexican food.
Well, he's going to leave a little door for tacos and hopefully my cleaning woman. I put a big. I golfed with Donald Trump once, and I blew up the picture of me and Donald Trump golfing, and I put it right in the bathroom so the cleaning woman she works a lot better now.
She works out of fear now.
Yeah, she goes, "You know, Mr. Trump? Yeah, move it." Yeah, I did. I golfed with him and Eli Manning and Jason, cousin Jason.
Yeah.
Boy, Jason can golf, man. By the way, I never knew how good he was at golfing. Trump was going, "Boy, your cousin can golf," and the thing I knew, I noticed about Trump was you break his chops. He is like a little kid. It's definitely true. You could goof on his shoes. I knew him for 10 minutes. I was goofing on his shirt. And
He's sensitive about it, right?
Well, yeah, he said to me, he goes, "You're not a great golfer. I heard you were a good baseball player." I go, "Yeah, you know what? I wasn't a rich kid, okay? With your khaki pants." Yeah, khaki pants. You look ridiculous. Well, listen, technology, guys. Are you fascinated by that? I mean, you're growing up with it. It's amazing how different the world. I was saying, my father fell in 1985. My father never used an ATM machine or played a CD. So, you can imagine how technology is just swept through. I mean, do you guys know about Steve Jobs, the history of technology?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And could you see yourself not having a phone for like longer than 10 minutes? Steph?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We've all
When-
gone
This
long.
podcast has been more than 10 minutes.
Do you let them
phone.
use the phone? What's the phone restrictions? Any? As far as like they have it all the time.
Well, Stephanie, because she's on the bus and she's here and she's there, but when it's bedtime,
a safety thing. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah,
right. That's the thing. Like we people from our generation say, it's kind of a different world. You shouldn't let them have it all the time. But parents are probably like, no, it's the greatest thing ever because you monitor them. But
Right.
At the same time, kids can be less independent. There's all these kids on TV now. It's unbelievable. These millennial kids, and they think they're never going to work because they went to Duke, and they're so coddled when they go to a job. If the boss says something sort of mean, they come home aggravated,
Right.
and they stop going to the job.
Right, and I actually have seen that firsthand experience. I mean, working in high school.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Frank's a teacher. Yeah. So what is that? Is it so much different?
It's part of the culture now. I mean, there's rules against it, and
right. Safe
they
place
need
in
it
colleges
with them
Right.
at all times, and you can't take it away from them unless
Unbelievable.
you're their father, and they don't get the proper grades in school.
And if you try to do that because they're not paying attention,
Right.
they call their parents and blah blah blah.
right, and the communication skills are not there.
Right.
Because they're used to just doing text speak.
That's the great irony of this generation. It's not social media. They're learning not to be social.
Right.
They can't talk to somebody.
They could stand out in the middle of a foyer
Right.
with 10 of them there, and they'll all be on their phone.
Unbelievable.
And no one will have an actual conversation.
Well, that's great though too that you want to get into entertainment too, because that will fight that. You have to learn in a play.
Well, I have a
And-
job
yeah,
where
right.
I have to work with people. Like I do have a job separate from
important.
She
that.
does have a job.
Yeah,
You'll-
I work at this place called I Play America, and it's like a giant indoor amusement park. And at it, I'm a party host, so I have to work with like the parents, the kids. Like usually the kids are about 4 to 8 years old is the usual age
Oh
range.
wow, well listen, that's great because if you know people skills in this generation and you're young, you got an advantage. Now, Brianna, do you plan on being less rude as you get older?
Yes. Except for the fact that I'm not really rude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter right now. They're listening. Twitter saying you're rude.
I don't even have Twitter.
Well, I have it. I'm kidding. We're not on Twitter. Alyssa, now what about you? You're shy. Do you find it easier to text somebody than to call them? Stuff like that. It's less of a confrontation.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Well, everybody thinks that it's a great way to communicate. But
FaceTimes the people that she's close to.
a FaceTime.
Yeah.
Well, that's the big thing. Yeah. Well, Dan, you have a question? Go right ahead.
What are the restrictions on FaceTime? Because I'm like fascinated by how parents can deal with that.
Well, there was this thing called Uvu a couple of years ago, which is something similar to FaceTime. Where they can Uvu, something
Right.
through the computer.
Wasn't that Saddam
It's the
Hussein's
same
son?
thing
Yes,
except
it
for
was. Right.
Uvu is FaceTime, except for you could just have more than one person on with you.
Right.
Yeah.
So I created a list of rules like they
thinking
have to have
Uber.
their homework done. They can't be done after a certain time.
Homework.
Also, they're not supposed to be walking through the house and involving everybody else in their conversation. Their clothes have to be on. They shouldn't be changing. Because Brianna could very easily be nude in the middle of a conversation or like coming out of the shower and like she's
That's
soaking wet.
terrible people skills.
Come on, Brianna.
We used to watch the Jetsons, remember? And we used to say she used to get ready to get on the phone because that was like that far away in the future. Brianna,
Basically,
Yes.
what
do you put your clothes on for a phone call now?
Yes, I always have my clothes on. I never took my clothes off.
What about the shower?
And I don't FaceTime in the shower.
Well, you should. It saves time. You know what I do? I elbow time.
All right, you remember the Bill Cosby skit where he talks about the kids and
Yeah.
he has to tell them exactly what to do?
Right.
I mean, we laughed at that as kids, but being a parent, seriously, if you don't tell them to dry off, they will not dry off.
Is that true?
They will not use soap. I mean, everything that Bill Cosby said in that skit was 100% true
Right.
about parenting.
And I mean, he should have been taking advice on another level.
It's true. It's true.
But, God, what was going on there? Now, you'll get older and you'll remember soap.
Eventually.
Yeah,
Brianna.
Brianna.
Stephanie.
You need soap.
For your information, I actually took a shower this morning.
So did
We
everyone
all
else.
did, Brianna.
And I
didn't.
use soap, Stephanie. Stephanie, did you use soap? I
Yeah,
don't
I
think you
did.
did. Your hair.
in the shower with me.
This is a great conversation. Are you goofing on her for not using soap?
Cut it.
It's gold, Jerry.
Dan used to. Didn't use soap till you were 22 years old, right? In Chicago. Dan's from Chicago. What do you guys know about Chicago? Exactly. All right. So now you guys are going to do what's the Ghostbusters ride? You guys are going on the Ghostbusters ride. The experience.
Yes. Our experience begins at 3, Artie.
Your
Drive
experience.
at 3.
Yeah, you should ride with 3 and your experience.
Your experience.
Now you guys, have you guys been to Times Square? Where you remember Times Square? That's where you're going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's unbelievable how crowded it is with Disney characters. I mean, Times Square when I was 16, 17. It's just a guy walking around with a blender for no reason.
What?
He wanted me.
Is he gonna take you and put you in the blender?
Well, I think that was the goal. He would just have a blender for sale.
Oh, okay.
And who needs a blender at that time? I was a 17-year-old boy.
You didn't do
Everyone
that?
needs a blender to blend up their mixed goods.
You can't even do FaceTime right. You should soap up on FaceTime.
What? No.
Who do you talk to on FaceTime? You got who's your best friend?
My best friend Michelle. I always FaceTime her.
Right.
I also FaceTime.
That's your best friend?
Yeah, she's my best friend, but I also FaceTime a lot of other people.
She has like 20 best friends.
Yeah.
All of her friends are her best friends.
Yes.
What about on Facebook? How many friends do you have?
I don't have Facebook.
Good for you.
Yes.
That you should. Well, you as you get older, maybe. Like Steph, do you have Facebook?
No.
No.
I don't have Instagram either.
Yeah, there's certain things that we're not.
What's
letting them
Instagram?
have.
Oh, Instagram's the pictures. Yeah. Well, listen, who cares? There's certain people you don't want to stay in touch with. That's the problem. These kids in high school. That's all I needed. Show up in Los Angeles. Hey, Artie, I just robbed the gas station. Can I stay with you?
What?
Doug Bear stole my TV set. In 1995, I go out to LA. My friend, this is why I couldn't FaceTime with Doug Bear. I couldn't imagine. Yo, Artie, it's Doug. Alyssa, what about you? Who's your best friend?
She doesn't have any friends.
No, come on.
She's a lonely
You're
person.
so sweet. You don't have any best friends?
No.
Yeah.
All right, well, you're too shy to say a name?
Who is it, Bob?
Amanda.
No.
Is it Bob the Builder?
Well, there you go. What about boys? Boyfriend, Steph, and anybody?
Steph,
yeah.
You have a
Steph
boyfriend?
has a
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Now let's go to cousin Frankie on this one. How do you feel about that, Frank? Is there a vetting process with the boys?
Yes, there was a vetting process where the
Is it
boy.
eight simple rules?
Well, the boy had to come to the house in order for any dates to actually
Right,
happen.
okay.
And the funny story with their first date that they were going to go on was
quote,
Stephanie had
date.
asked me on Tuesday, hey, my new boyfriend wants to take me to the movies. I said, well, he has to come and meet me.
Right.
So I said, I'll let you know when he can come. So now it's Wednesday. He said, Dad, what time can he come to the house? And I said, I'll let you know.
Uh-oh.
And then it kept going on and on and on.
Oh, good for you.
And then I finally said,
You're deceiving your children.
exactly. On Saturday, they were supposed to go at 3 o'clock. And she's like, Dad, he's going to take me to the movies, but he wants to come here to, meet you. He wants to do the right thing. And I said, know what?
Wait, the movies do the right thing?
No, it wasn't.
That I'd say no to.
So I just say, know what, Steph? I'm not ready to meet him yet. Alyssa, you're going to the movies with your
That's
sister.
great.
So Alyssa went.
Well, listen, it's a tough call.
Yeah.
The daughter. What, Jackie? How do you feel about all this? We want a solid answer here.
He's a nice boy. He's a good kid.
Okay.
He's a good kid.
Now, how'd you meet him?
He goes to school with me, and I met him through one of my other friends. And
Was Jackie? You're giving her advice about men. I mean, right?
Remember, this is PG.
Yeah, I mean, no, you. I mean, as far as who could be dangerous. I mean, you have to have a good judgment of, if he has a tattoo on his neck, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a good boy. He's
Yeah,
a good boy.
that's good.
His mom, we've met his parents. His mother came and dropped him off and came in
that's
the
good.
house and met everybody.
Well, now, what about? Does he like acting too? Does you share an interest there? Does he like doing that?
he is into video and stuff, but he's also into business stuff and sports.
That's cool.
So-
Okay, there you go. Everybody's got a lot of It's good that you guys have a lot of interest like that. My God, business and sports and tigers, oh my.
They're at the same high school, but he's not in in the same program.
Oh, okay.
They just go to high school together.
Are you into the commute stuff? Is it something you're so passionate about what you're doing? That's what you need.
I like this. I like the extra 40-minute sleep in the morning.
Oh, no kidding.
I'll go sleep on the bus, and it's like a 40-minute bus
actually,
ride.
that is good. You can learn how to commute. Like, people are professional commuters. They ought to sleep. Now we're gonna try because you guys got to go. A little name that tune.
Okay.
All right.
This, first of all, has been a lot of fun. You know, you guys are
no
doing,
Google searching.
please, I'm trying to host the show. You know, when you guys don't have something to do afterwards, you got to come back soon because this is fun. I'm having.
Yeah.
Are you guys having a good time?
Yeah.
And you go home. You're gonna listen to yourselves on the radio. It's gonna be a blast. We have to cut out. I got some notes. Everything Brianna said.
Just cut out Brianna in general.
Well, there's some lawsuits with the Aladdin people. They don't like that you played Drago.
What?
What'd you play, Iago?
Abu.
Abu. All right, we're gonna play name that tune. Now you know how to do this.
Yes.
Dan is gonna start to play, and the first person. How are we gonna do who buzzes in, Dan?
No, we're gonna do.
Raise my hand.
Yeah, don't hit somebody.
Can't we just make buzzing noises through the mic?
Try to hit
Yeah,
Brianna.
let's
Go ahead if you want to do that. Yeah, Dan. It's not visual. Yeah, make a buzzing sound.
Dan, they might forget their name.
Yell their name. That's true. Yell your name so that they'll know who's buzzing. That's a great idea.
No, yell
Is
your
that
name.
your name?
He said
Say
yell
Abu.
your name.
Abu.
Yell your character name for Aladdin.
Abu.
You know what? You sound like a great monkey. You're an articulate monkey.
She looks like one too.
Yeah.
Gee, thanks, Stephanie. I really appreciated that.
Paging Dr. Sarcasm. Okay. Ready? Look, guys, concentrate. And here's the first song. And
It's a well-oiled machine.
hit it, badge.
There's no lyrics, girls.
Ooh, I know. Wait, Abu.
Okay, what?
All about that bass Megan Trainer.
Nice.
Yes.
What's the name of it?
All about that bass Megan Trainer.
All about that bass. Oh,
You know what the bases are?
not that
Because
treble.
you know
Not that
I'm
treble.
all
I know.
about
it.
Bass
that
refers to the
About that bass.
backside.
No, treble.
Get out of here.
Yeah, seriously.
That's terrible.
But
I thought that was. Wait a minute. That's right. I thought backside was that dang.
Well, there's a bunch of different euphemisms for it, but just imagine me driving in my minivan and the entire car full of females is singing all about the bass, and courting at the time, my 8-year-old daughters.
Nick DiPaolo has a joke. Goes, I was listening to some rap music today. I didn't want to. It was coming out of a Jeep 4 miles away.
Right.
All right. Well, so now 1-0 to the youngest. That's amazing. I have a name, my own nickname for that song. Worst song ever. All right.
And you dance.
It's off the album Unlistenable.
Song ever.
Ready, guys? You got to try to. Okay, go.
I'm ready.
Abu.
Here comes the sun.
Nice.
Dang it! I was gonna say that. Wait, who's it by though?
The Beatles.
That's true. Which Beatle in particular sings it though? If you get that, you're good. Because
Paul McCartney.
I was about to say
wrong.
the other ones.
Actually, George Harrison wrote that song. It's rare that George Harrison on a Beatles album wrote and sang a song.
Okay, next song.
And it's one of their best. Excuse me. Look who it is, Arsenio Hall.
And you say that you're not rude.
Barking at the orders.
Yeah, just calm down over there, Letterman. All right, go ahead, Dan. Dan?
Alyssa sing something?
I can't.
What?
They're not going to know this.
I don't think they'll know this one.
This is a Rolling Stones song.
He said that they were classic.
No, they might. That might have been up there.
What?
That's off Exile on Main Street. That's
Dad, that was a bad song to choose.
I didn't choose
None of
that
it.
It's actually one of the
I
greatest
just
songs
gave
of
them
all
genres.
time. It's one of the greatest songs of all time, actually.
okay.
But no, you ever hear "Tumbling Dice" by the Rolling Stones?
No.
Of course
No.
not. Dan,
No.
Dan, you're not playing with yourself. Oh.
I thought this was a PG show. Or
Steph.
Steph, no! Wait, what?
Brianna sits.
I know.
Firework. By Katy Perry.
No, Stephanie.
That's Dan's favorite song of all time.
Art, I don't know if you noticed that Stephanie goes Steph, and then Brianna goes Steph.
No, this is getting confusing with the names.
No, Brianna.
I told you they would forget their own names.
Stick with a boo.
Abu.
All right, you're
A shorter version of a boo would be great.
Abu.
A boo Panella.
Abu.
All right, well, listen. We had my favorite song of all time that you didn't know, and then Dan's favorite song of all time, Firework. What's it called? Firecracker?
Firework.
Firework?
Baby, you're a fire.
No one asked.
You guys like Katy Perry?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. No, listen.
I'll listen with an answer.
Rock the boat. You ready, Dan? Do you have anything off of the Stones' second album, the obscure live?
Here we go.
Brianna.
Let the listen go.
Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen.
Don't. I don't know. Ask Dan.
Dang it.
By who?
Carly Rae Jepsen.
Carly. Is that like that sounds like a
Carly
country
Rae
band?
Jepsen.
Carly Rae Jepsen band. The Billy Ray Talbot band.
Hey, ask me.
Now, what does she do, Carly Rae Jepsen?
She was like a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
That song got popular because of the Harvard baseball team video. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
You probably didn't see that.
Yeah, the
Harvard
best they go-
baseball
Well,
team.
yeah, they see what the girls were doing? They were doing that.
They were
Yeah.
doing this in the
Men
car.
were
They
doing what
like,
girls
banging
do. It
their
sums up the
heads.
generation.
Exactly.
If I-
This is crazy, but here's my number. So call me.
Guys
maybe.
were doing that?
Yeah.
The Harvard
It
baseball.
was
My
so
They weren't singing to
If
it.
my father ever came back to life and said, "What's life like?" I go, "Dad, sit down." Every guy acts like a girl, and Bruce Jenner is a girl,
Oh, man. That is,
and that sums it up.
it does.
Caitlyn Jenner. What do you guys think of Caitlyn Jenner? Do you like her better than Bruce Jenner?
I think
find them
that
both
if
annoying.
any of them went to the prom, he or she wouldn't need a date because they would just go with themselves, you know?
That was a drop the mic moment, which is what, unfortunately, you bring up a sad thing. That's what Dan had to do. Dan is pre-op.
Drop the mic.
That was that was drop the mic. No, now okay, we got time for one more. Who's in the lead? Is anybody keeping score?
Steph is
Of course,
two.
Steph.
Steph's
Just
in the
second.
lead.
Do you have how many you have?
I have two, and then the other ones have one.
The other ones. These are the creatures.
The creatures
All right, let's see what we can do here.
Creatures have one.
It would make sense that Steph is winning, but let's see one last one before you guys go for the experience.
Experience. Oh no.
I got it. Terrible. This is actually a song I wrote for you guys. Surprise. Girls, the experience starts at 3 o'clock. So get over there or Dan will be fired. I don't know. This sounds very...
Wait.
You guys don't know?
Very popular.
Dan, is this a song you like and cry to? You got me. This gets me to sleep every night.
Go to the original.
What was it?
I'll go to the original.
Okay, go to
Instead of
the-
the instrumental. Okay.
Oh, there
Give me a
was
second.
two.
Well, how obscure are you making this? What?
They're-
Yeah, but you're doing the karaoke version.
well,
You're doing the wedding band version.
concert. He said they're very good at this.
Not really.
He plays a song of Exile on
I'm
Main
better
Street.
with pop songs.
Tumbling dice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, bad blood.
Okay, wait, Dan. First of all, do you know how different that sounded than what you played?
He said
I mean, it's not even. It's
two
Dan,
different
it's like a
songs.
total. It's two different.
What?
Thank you. Who said that?
Me.
So loud.
Dan, you have ruined.
Dan, I do think this was a good challenge.
Dan, you have
right.
ruined.
He said they're very good at the game.
Dan, you have ruined
No, that
their
was a
afternoon.
big. That was,
I hope. Apologize to my little cousins.
I'm sorry.
I apologize for ruining your afternoon. Dan trying to look cool. That wasn't even the same. It just sounded like a.
They got the other ones.
It sounded like a. Yeah, Dan, because it made sense. The other ones, until you threw in the Keith Richards song from 2 o'clock in the morning. This was the other one. first of all, they're gonna miss their experience with that intro.
Yes. Come on.
The Dan Filato experience started at 1:30.
I want to bust some goose soul.
Do I do one more?
You had one more to redeem yourself. That was horrid. She's
Ooh, what?
Steph.
Oh, no, Brianna! One Dance by Drake. Dang it!
One Dance by who?
By Drake. I hate that song.
I hate Drake.
And yet you knew it.
Yeah, I know
There's another
it
guy you don't
because
wanna
it's on the radio so
Drake.
much.
Well, listen, girls. I want to bring them down.
If it wasn't on the radio so much, I wouldn't know it. But it's like,
Well, yeah, it's on the radio.
If
That's
I
how you
turn-
know it.
if I turn right, oh,
By the way,
there's
guys,
one dance.
surprise, I have-
Turn left.
I have-
oh, there's one dance.
I have
Go
Drake
straight.
right here.
One dance.
I have
Go
Drake
behind
right
me.
here.
One
She's
dance.
not gonna
It's
stop her.
everywhere.
Drake is here, girls.
What?
Surprise guest Drake. Come out, guys. What if he was really here? I don't care. Bye.
Alyssa, I want answers. Alyssa, I want answers.
What's that?
I want the truth.
Well, with Dan, what is this? We made a deal with the Ghostbusters people. We have to read it. Do you want to hear what you're going to? Did you guys see the Ghostbusters?
No.
God,
I was gonna watch it last night, but then
horrible.
I fell asleep.
I was on the road doing my stand-up comedy act at a Marriott, and I tried to watch it. Horrendous. I watched something called Anything Else. Yeah, the original one. Have you seen the original one?
Nope.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Probably.
I've seen
You've seen the
some of it.
original Ghostbusters,
Yep.
and your sisters haven't.
Yep.
Did you like it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good.
Well, I'm sure you'll be slimed in this experience, so I hope you brought a change
Yes.
of clothes. Celebrating the return of Ghostbusters, Madame Tussauds has brought the cinematic experience to life like never before in a one-of-a-kind experience inspired by the 2016 film. From the eerie underground tracks of the NYC subway to the basement of a haunted mansion to Ghostbusters headquarters to the streets of Times Square, brace yourself for several spooks and, well, several spooks. And several... That meant something different in the 70s. And even a catch a ride on Ecto 2. Armed with insider tips and tricks, you'll eventually be given the chance to capture your own ghosts with the famed spirit hunters. Whoa. You guys are going to meet the famed spirit hunters. What do you think about that?
I'm thrilled.
They all have the flu.
I am going to bust their souls up into little pieces
Now what-
until they cannot know what life is.
You can use the blender that guy's selling.
I think that
I
guy's
will
dead.
take the pieces.
The guy with the blender stopped. I think he left.
I will take the pieces and put them
Brianna.
into the blender.
The guy with the blender's our mayor. Mayor de Blasio. Yeah. He's selling us all a blender. Well, guys, there's only one word for this experience, and that's wonderful. Clap for yourself. Yes.
Clappity clap clap clap.
We're gonna have you back, and Steph, I want you to let me know whenever you want to come back. All right.
All right.
And we're gonna get some comments on Twitter. Don't read Artie's third chin. He's very negative. All right. I want one life goal as we go around the table. I want one goal from life, and then we'll. This includes you too, Dan. It's Dan's birthday, by the way.
That's right. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Nice.
Happy birthday to you.
Artie, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Dan.
Dan.
Happy birthday to you.
Nice. Nice. Well, listen. Do you have a life goal, Brianna? We'll start with you.
My life goal?
Yep.
To be famous.
Well, listen. That might be this afternoon. What about you, Alyssa, my goddaughter? I'm very proud of you, by the way. The soccer.
Be the next Adele.
That's. It's not your question.
Brianna.
No, it was something that
not about you.
the other day.
The next Adele, you got to gain 500 pounds. You don't want to do that. Now, what do you want to be?
A ranger?
You want to be a ranger? A park ranger?
She said she wants to be a Power Ranger.
I was just telling her to talk about her soccer record for her bar.
Yeah, I mean, you're really killing it with the soccer. Let's hear. First of all, captain. That's a major thing in life. You should have good self-esteem. Now, what do you want to do? You want to play soccer or something involved with soccer?
Yeah, play soccer when I get older.
You should want to meet a successful plumber. I think you want to meet them. What happened? What you do? What you do?
A spit take.
What happened?
She spit out the soda because of your plumber joke. All over Alyssa.
Well, listen, all over Alyssa. As a comedian,
The one thing I told you not to do.
Now she's throwing up. She might be throwing up. It might be like the Thanksgiving episode all over again.
The one thing I told you not to do, Brianna.
Well, this is a great ending.
Well, she's not really throwing up. I guess.
This is a great ending.
The one thing we told you not to do.
This is the most Jackie's queen in years.
All over the expensive equipment.
Oh, that's all right.
No, I just got on the floor.
You just
You're stepping in it now.
You just made Dan's afternoon terrible. Well, listen. Actually, we know a successful plumber, 102-year-old man, Abe Edelman. Only guy to make Schindler's and Angie's List. I'll be doing that on stage tonight, Caroline. All right, guys. Well, you made a mockery of this.
The other goals.
And no, I'm not counting Breezy.
No, I'm not drinking.
Alyssa's going to be a Power Park Ranger.
Just cut Brianna out overall.
And of course, we know your goal is showbiz, right? Well, I think you're on the right track. And
My other goal is to not be obliterated by ISIS or something like that.
No. Well, there's
clowns.
Just
Clowns. I don't want to be killed by clowns.
No.
Yeah, what's up with clowns lately?
I think it's just a hoax.
Yeah, well, I mean, in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it started. There's nothing to do there.
No.
Packer fan.
They're clearly bored. Yeah.
Yeah, it took a cheese off his head.
And the Packers are on a bye week, so it makes sense.
Well, don't worry about clowns or ISIS. We'll take care of that for you.
All right.
We're on the front line right here. This afternoon is why the terrorists don't like us, because we're Americans having fun and throwing up.
And putting spit takes on Alyssa.
Well, guys, again, we'll do this again. Okay. Definitely, we have more time because we'll do a little longer, and start to think about what you want to do up here. Bring your friends, do a show, okay?
All right.
It'll be fun.
All right.
And
He's not talking to you.
Huh?
Doesn't like you, Brianna.
Oh, I
No,
love
he
her.
loves me.
I love this girl. My God, we text together.
Yes.
You're a bad speller, by the way. She corrects my spelling. I'm emojiing. All right, guys, thank